The industrial building was engulfed in flames, fire raging in every direction. Emergency crews had arrived, and firefighters swarmed the scene, working urgently to control the fire. The lieutenant, assessing the situation, was informed by the foreman that there was an entrance to the lower level on Exposure 3. This entrance led directly to the trapped workers. Over the radio, firefighters confirmed that they had located the entrance, but it was blocked by burning timber. The lieutenant quickly asked the foreman if there was another way in, perhaps a window or an alternate route. The foreman explained that the only other option was through the main entrance, which was also blocked. With limited options, the lieutenant acknowledged the difficulty, but they knew they had no choice. Just as he was about to issue an order, a voice from behind interrupted him. "Excuse me, Lieutenant, but can I offer another option?" The voice belonged to none other than Superman. Without hesitation, Superman flew into the burning building, navigating through the thick smoke and flames. He informed the firefighters behind him that he would go ahead to see what he could do to help and that they could follow him down. The firefighters acknowledged his words, ready to assist him. Inside, Superman quickly navigated through the fire and smoke, reaching the trapped workers. They were pinned beneath debris. One of them, recognizing him immediately, called out in desperation, warning him about a nearby flammable gas tank. Superman assessed the situation instantly. He confirmed the danger, and asked if the workers could move once he lifted the debris. One of them, injured, admitted he couldn't. His legs were broken and another worker, Jim, was unconscious. They didn't even know if he was alive. Superman, however, reassured them he could still hear Jim's heartbeat. Turning to another worker who seemed uninjured, Superman asked if he was capable of assisting. The worker confirmed he was fine, prompting Superman to instruct him to help pull the others free once he lifted the debris. Before he could act, another voice spoke up from behind. "Why don't you let me do that, Superman, and you pull him and his buddies free?" A new figure one Superman had never seen before had positioned himself to prevent the gas tank from toppling over. Though momentarily caught off guard, Superman hesitated, but the mysterious figure urged him to act quickly, admitting he wasn't as strong as Superman and couldn't hold the tank forever. Recognizing the urgency, Superman wasted no time lifting the workers. He assured the new hero to hold on just a few more seconds to prevent an explosion, until he got them to safety. The unknown superhero, despite the strain, replied with confidence, dismissing any doubt about his ability to hold the tank. As Superman flew to safety, he glanced back and noted the visible strain on the stranger's face. When he pointed this out, the hero simply responded, "Then you'd better get going." Superman quickly flew off, shouting to the firefighters at the stairs, urging them to back up and retreat. The firefighters scrambled up the stairs as Superman flew past them, heading straight outside. He dropped the workers he had rescued into the hands of the waiting firefighters. He instructed them to take the workers quickly, explaining that he had to go back inside. With that, he flew off once again, heading back into the burning building. Meanwhile, the gas tank that the mysterious hero had been holding started to rupture. Holes appeared in the tank, and it began leaking dangerous. Inside, Superman raced through the building, flying past firefighters running up the stairs. He called out to them, urging them to move faster. He called out to the hero below, asking how he was doing. The hero responded, "Still waiting for you to get clear. I thought you were fast." Superman focused on his task, lifted the firefighters, and assured him that he only needed 2 more seconds, and then he was free to move. As Superman flew off, the hero's suit caught fire and began to burn. The hero was in pain, but he didn't. Superman, unwilling to slow down or turn, flew higher, crashing through the roof of the building and reaching the firefighters outside. However, the hero's suit continued to burn. He muttered, "I guess I'm not invulnerable." Suddenly, the gas tank he had been holding exploded, sending a massive blast throughout the building. The explosion was loud and visible from the outside. Superman was stunned by what he saw. He yelled in disbelief, his heart sinking as he realized what had just happened. Without wasting a second, he flew back into the building, breaking through walls in his desperate search. He eventually reached the scene where the hero lay on the ground, his body severely burned and unrecognizable. Superman stood frozen in horror, his mouth open in disbelief. The hero who had risked everything was dead. Back at the Justice League Watchtower, Superman arrived furious and overwhelmed by what had happened. As he entered the meeting room, he yelled out, searching for anyone, but no one responded. He slammed his hands onto the table, gripping it so tightly that it began to crack. In a fit of rage, he screamed, snapping the table in half before throwing the pieces across the room. The anger consumed him as he grabbed a nearby chair, lifted it and smashed it against the screens, demanding answers. After some time, Green Lantern arrived at the Justice League Watchtower. As he walked through the halls, he called out, wondering if anyone was there. When he entered the main room, he saw the aftermath of Superman's anger. Debris scattered everywhere, a clear sign of the devastation left behind. Spotting Superman sitting alone amidst the destruction, Green Lantern approached and expressed his concern, noting that he had seen the news and thought Superman might need a friendly ear. Superman remained silent, his gaze fixed downward. Green Lantern sat beside him, offering a quiet moment of support. Superman finally spoke, his voice filled with regret and self-blame. He admitted that he had believed the new hero would be okay, that he had assumed the hero understood his limitations. Superman explained that many of them had been capable from the start, and the new hero had seemed so confident. Superman had wanted to believe that, while he was saving others, the new hero would be fine. He called himself an idiot. He continued acknowledging that Green Lantern would probably try to comfort him by saying it wasn't his fault, that he saved the firemen, but none of that made him feel better. He didn't feel that he did the right thing. He could have held the tank, the explosion wouldn't have hurt him, and the hero might still be alive. Consumed by regret, he said, "Man, I screwed up and now the poor guy is dead." Green Lantern just watched him quietly, saying nothing, understanding that sometimes words couldn't fix the hurt. Superman turned to him, offering a quiet thanks for listening, to which Green Lantern responded with a simple shh. Later in Ridge Bay, a suburb of Metropolis, the fallen superhero's family was grappling with their grief. His son sat at home, looking sad, while his daughter played with a ball in the garden. The voice of his wife could be heard from inside the house, speaking to Superman. She told him that he couldn't blame himself. Her husband had always wanted this. Ever since he discovered he had powers, all he ever wanted was to be like Superman. He had wanted it so badly, and the day they made his costume had been the happiest she had ever seen. Tears welled up in his eyes as she continued, remembering how she begged him not to do it. They had children, she had reminded him. It was too dangerous. But he had only laughed, brushing off her concerns. He had believed there was no real danger, convinced that as a superhero, he was invincible. He had been so sure that he would save lives, help people, and one day become a member of the Justice League of America. He had told her to just wait and see. Superman stood silently, taking in her words. His eyes wandered to the family photos displayed around the home, memories of the man who had wanted nothing more than to be a hero. Superman then said, "I can give him that. I can give him that, if nothing else." In the Justice League Watchtower, Superman placed the hero's family photo among the honored members of the League. It was his way of paying respect, acknowledging the hero's sacrifice. Though he had not lived to see it in that moment, his dream had come true. He was at last a part of the Justice League.